Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show, 33 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm so grateful to have you here with us this morning. We're chatting this morning about women in leadership. There's a seminar coming up on the 15th of July, hosted by Arthur Luckjack. And I want to welcome this morning to the Now Morning Show Senior Conference Specialist Nicole Moraine and featured international speaker at the Women in Leadership Conference, Alexandra Whittington. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning,
Morning. Thank
Margaret.
you.
Thank you for
Not
having
a
us.
problem. So, Nicole, let me start with you. What exactly is the Women in Leadership Conference? Tell us about it.
Well, the Women in Leadership Conference is an annual event, and it was created really for women, specifically to address those intrinsic needs that women in leadership have. We feature a range of experts that address different needs that are unique to women over the years. We also encourage professionals, young professionals, it's aimed at the academic, C-suite executives. I mean, it's run every year. We originally used to do it every other year, but based on the need that we saw in the market, we had to change and respond to that. And so it's now an annual event.
You said that there are specific needs that women in leadership have. What are some of those needs?
Well, we have different roles. We manage the households, we nurture children, and then we also come into the organization and we lead people. So to find the balance and how we manage that against the needs of our families, those are very unique needs as nurturers for women. So we have to address those differently than we would to our male counterparts. And so we've had to find a space where we can have the conversations that women who share similar issues can share and learn from each other. So that's really what we discuss and how we uplift it. It is meant to share and uplift, empower women as we learn from each other and in our roles as leaders.
Of course. And how did you and your team decide on who are the featured speakers? Because I see you have regional speakers and then you have international speakers. How did you guys decide on who's going to be speaking at this particular conference?
Well, we did a scan of the environment. We knew we wanted to address the topic of resilience, but we did a scan of people who we felt would understand the local and regional context
Right.
because of their exposure. And not only that, the content, their body of work, we wanted to ensure that they would be able to address the issue of resilience, which has been something that has become somewhat of a watchword over the last year or two. So we landed at Alexandra, particularly because one of the things we learned coming out of the pandemic is that we need to be forward facing. How do we prepare for the future?
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing that most organizations realized that we were thinking in the now. Or if we were forward facing and future thinking, it may not have been in the too distant future or even after anything that was catastrophic or very traumatic to the organization. So we looked at that. We looked at also in dealing with the organization, we have to deal with the people. So how do we address the mind and the body in terms of handling the trauma and the resilience, and what do we need to bounce forward from the shocks? You know, how do we encourage our teams to also be resilient persons? So we had to look at persons who could address those topics. And then we wanted to also have a regional context. And so we had added our local and regional speakers
Mm-hmm.
so that we could understand what's happening globally, but still contextualize it to our situation and our scenarios.
Of course. Now, Alexandra, you are an educator or writer. You've been hailed as one of the top female futurists. What is a futurist exactly?
Well, a futurist is a researcher primarily. We do speaking, we do educate people, we do writing, but basically we are about all about helping people expand their thinking about what the future could be. It's a creative and also an inspirational role.
So, what part does resilience play in us, focusing on the future?
I think that resilience is something we need to help people with as futurists because we shouldn't always be responding to things that we can actually prepare for. As futurists, we can help people anticipate what's around the corner so that being resilient is a more informed position.
Okay, I hear what you're saying there. I hear what you're saying there. Okay, so the more information that we have, the better we are going into the future. Do we use, so you're saying that we use research, we use statistics to be able to plot out what is possible and what we can dream of?
Exactly. We look at the possible futures, but also the aspirational ones. What future do we want to have happen? And how can we shape events and shape people and organizations to achieve the goals that they have in mind?
And what role does the actual human capital play in this? I mean, people come into this conference, they come with their baggage from home, they come with their different experiences, they come with their already, their situations in work already. What role, how do we take all of this and give them the necessary tools to be able to say, all right, this tool is going to be specific for you, or is it general tools that we can all use and apply going forward?
I think every single person has an inner futurist that they can tap into. It's
Mm.
really a matter of opening up the mind, being imaginative, and refusing to accept things as they are, to understand that we really shape the future. And learning to do that is more of a mindset than anything else.
All right, so some resilience in there and some revolution in there as well. I love to see it. All right, so Nicole, tell us who are the conference partners and who are the people that are responsible for making sure that this is happening and happening properly.
We are so happy to announce that Ansem Account Limited and Ansem Merchant Bank are partners. Of course, we are featuring a local speaker, and she's also a representative of Ansem Account Group. So they'll join us as partners.
You want to list out the speakers for us? Because I know we
Oh,
mentioned
certainly.
Alexandra, who's here, but tell us who the other speakers are.
Definitely. So we've met Alexandra, and we're going to invite the rest of viewing public to join us and meet Jenny Evans, who is really going to talk about stress proofing your mind and body,
Mm-hmm.
which is critical to dealing with, becoming resilient.
For sure.
We also have Dr. Marlene Street Forest. She is one of our regional speakers, and she is the managing director of the Jamaican Stock Exchange. Bridget Taya, who is a leading researcher and resilience coach and author as well. She's also going to be sharing but really helping us in terms of applying that resilience to the type of environment that we're leading in, what we call the VUCA world. So she's gonna bring some nuggets for us, pearls of wisdom in terms of how we can cope and apply some tips that she's going to share. And of course, we're going to have a panel discussion. Of
Just
course,
now,
Alexandra.
Nicole,
Yeah.
before you get into the panel discussion, what is the VUCA
Yes.
world?
VUCA is well, volatility, uncertainty, uncertainty. I can't remember the V, but she is going to be talking to us about leading in this VUCA world. And it's really how we respond, the hyperconnectivity, the radical changes, leading and being able to be agile and responsive, and to learn and adapt quickly. So she's really going to talk to us about how we adapt to that.
All right, nice. And you were telling me the other speakers are the regional ones?
Well, our regional speaker is Dr. Francis. She's Street Forest. She is going to be coming to us from Jamaica, the Jamaican Stock Exchange, and she's also going to be joining us on the panel alongside Mrs. Frances Bean Cumberbatch from Ants McCall Group and Alexandra.
Nice. Well, this is a fantastic conference. How much does it cost for people to be a part of it, and how can they register to be a part of it?
Yes, so the cost now is 350 US. We are going to be expecting a lot of calls today. Hopefully, having heard from Alexandra, and you're excited. The TT version is $2,380. If you're interested in registering, we'll be more than happy to. If you call today and you said you looked at this interview, we'll give you a special. We'll be more than happy to extend the early bird rate, which has expired. We will do that for anybody who wants to register today, after having seen this interview. And you can visit our website, which is www.gsbwiltt.com, and the information will be there where you can click the link and register to secure your spot.
This is fantastic. Any parting words that you want to leave with us, Alexandra, as we get ready to people who are going to call and register? Anything else you want to tell them before we wrap up this morning?
I would just like to add that being a futurist might sound like a complicated role to take, but it's really not. Anyone can do it, and it will be very empowering to any person who undertakes this mindset.
Nice. And how about you, Nicole? Any parting words?
Yeah, definitely. I think we need to learn to as we develop this futurist mindset. How do we adapt and prepare? Be prepared for the future. And this is an event where you're gonna be able to learn from some of the best in the field to help us prepare for uncertainty and how do we adapt and come out even stronger.
And of course, we just had a lot of practice when it comes to COVID-19. I know a lot of
Yes,
people
we
are still
did.
trying to figure out how we navigate the future. So I know that this conference is definitely timely, and it's important for us to pay attention and lead with resilience.
Yes.
So ladies, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, and all the best on the 15th of July. I know it's going to be a fantastic conference. Is it only for women, or men allowed to attend as well?
Absolutely. We invite men as well. While it's focused and geared towards women, because men lead women, they work with women. Um, we invite men because you need to understand people that you lead and people that you work with. So it's not strictly and solely for women. Our
Right.
male counterparts are invited.
Nice, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Nicole Marine, Senior Conference Specialist, and Alexandra Whittington, featured international speaker, who's happening at the Women in Leadership Conference. It's happening on July 15th. You want to be a part of it, you can head online at gsbwilt.com and register. You can give them a call. Your number was up on your screen, but the number is 299-0218, extension 299. Just tell them you saw this interview on TTT this morning. You get a nice little discount as well, right? We take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.